tonight's webinar, Angels and Demons, Old Testament and New Testament Perspectives. Tonight's topic includes the following. First, we're going to look at recommended but not required resources to help you study angels and demons more in depth using Logos Bible software. We're going to show you how to identify angel and demon passages in the Bible. We're going to perform some key word studies, look at key words, and show you how to identify these key passages. We're going to answer 4 key questions using the software. When were angels and demons created? What is their purpose? What are their activities? Old Testament, New Testament, and what is our response today to them? We're going to look at some famous angels, and then lastly, develop an historical and theological perspective of angels and demons. I'm very excited to bring you this topic. It's a very interesting one, as well as it's a topic where a lot of misinformation is out there, and we're going to clear that up as we study the scriptures. Now, I should make mention that with the purchase of the webinar, you will receive my notes or my personal book. That is, you can take the notes and convert them into a book that can be integrated into Logos Bible software, and I give you the instructions to do that. So here's the personal book that I'll be using. As you can see, it's a very detailed personal book integrated into Logos Bible software. All the bibliographies are listed here with buy links and own it links. In addition to that, many of the collections that I've created are here, so you can just copy and paste the rules. Searches are in here, and other notes and other pieces of information as well to help you study this topic. So it's a really great tool, and it just makes it easier to follow the webinar. And also, if you ever come back, you have all the notes as well. So let me go ahead and float this and move it out of the way, and just give you kind of a easy way right now to search your existing library to find resources regarding angels and demons. All right, so let me first run the search, and then I'll expand it so you can see how we created this. So here's the steps. First, you're going to go to the main menu and click on the search magnifying glass. Second, you're going to click on basic. Third, we're going to choose entire library. And then the last part is our search phrase. Now notice that I'm using the key phrase large text : and then I have a keyword that follows. When you use large text : you're searching the titles or the section titles within the books, which means if we find angel in the title or section title, there's a high probability that that article is about angels or demons, which means that'll be a better article, a better search result than if we simply search for the word angel in the text. And so as you look at the search results below, we can see very clearly, evil angels and demons, names of gods, angels, demons, and nomina barbara. All of these articles coming back are focused on our topic of angels. And you can see in the search phrase, we've got demon, we have Antichrist, and we have the host of heaven, which is sometimes a reference to the angels who do military efforts on behalf of God. So this particular search is going to look into your library right now and see what books you have on demons and angels. And so this is a great way to leverage the existing resources before you go out and spend any additional money. You should know what you have first and see if that can meet your study need. So that's a great search to run. And again, that is stored in the personal book. So if you get the personal book and you buy the webinar, you just copy and paste. Actually, just click the search button in the personal book and the search runs, as you can see here. Now, there's one other thing I want to show you, and it's with in regards to the theological journals. And if you don't have the theological journals, I highly recommend that. Logos has finally consolidated them into one resource that you can buy. In the past, you had to buy 1 through 10, and then you had to buy 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No longer. So let me go ahead to the Logos website, and let me go ahead and sign out here. And let's go to the Theological Journal Library. That's what you want to type in, and you can see here. So, you could have bought 1 through 10 for $339, and then there's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 5 more at $50 a pop. So that'd be about $250 plus $339 would be $589. But good news is, if you buy all of them at once, here we go, 1 through 15, it's $499. So you save yourself about $80, and I can't recommend this resource enough. It's like having an incredible set of commentaries, hundreds of feet wide in print, a diversity of of professors, PhDs, excellent research. Theological Journals is the latest research, very, very helpful, and I can't recommend enough. So be aware that you now can buy those as a group, 1 through 15. Now, let me give you 3 articles that will assist you if you have this. So let me go ahead and close the search result and bring over the first resource. And here it is. The first one is going to be Angelology, Part 1 by Louis Sperry Chafer. Now, it's a little bit older. I think this one was done in 1941. But again, he's studying the Bible and revealing what the Bible says. So it's going to be very, very helpful, as you can see here. The angelic spheres, the reality of angels, the importance, the personality, the creation, the abode, the number, the power, the classification, the ministry. This is really, really neat. Now let's move to part 4, word studies, keywords, and key passages. So let me go ahead and close everything down, and let's move to word studies. Now the easiest way to do word studies is just simply to go to guides and then go to Bible Word Study Guide. And let's just type in the word angel. Now, you may be wondering, why am I typing in English rather than, let's say, going to the New Testament or Old Testament, right-clicking on the word? When you type in an English word in the Bible Word Study, you get back these 2 sections, the Hebrew word section and the Greek word section. And this is why I like doing English word studies, because I now have all the associated Hebrew words to the word angel. This gives me some really powerful information. So for example, I have here messenger, right? So if we click on that one, and this is the predominant use, you can see that clearly, 110 of the 113 uses, and I've got the Hebrew word malach, and I have all the key references where angel is mentioned. So now we've moved from reading articles with the cross references to discovering the very cross references, and we now have access to do word studies. So all we have to do to study this word is click right here on the Hebrew word, and now we'll do a Bible word study, but it's going to be on the Hebrew word. So we'll get our lexicons in the lemma section, and we'll learn all about what it means there. We get the roots section. This is very helpful because we can find other Hebrew words that have a relationship, and that can help us study. We also have the senses section, which kind of gives us other related ideas and terms. So we have angel, we have messenger or envoy. These are going to open up new areas of study for you. Very powerful tools for word studies. Now I'm just going to run the guide again, but this time we're going to do demon. Notice again that we've got the Hebrew words and the Greek words. This time we'll look at the Greek one. Notice again that there's a predominant word, evil spirit. If we actually look at the transliteration, it's daimanin, I think that's how you would say it, or pretty close. Daimanin. It's a tough one. In either case, 62 of the 64 uses are listed here. And so here we have a list of all the key passages. So like I said, moving from the dictionaries where you have a general overview of this topic, angels and demons and key passages, here now we can be 100% focusing on Bible passages. So that's a great way. And then once you get there, again, we can just click on this Greek word, and now the Bible Word Study Report opens up. We can look at the lemma, we can look at the roots, we can look at the senses, etc. Now with this much information before us, it begs the question, what information do we focus on? Let me give you some ideas and help you organize. First, I would focus on the phrase angel of the Lord. So let me go ahead and close all these down. And I've got a special search to kind of help you with that. Okay, so here we go. It's search, Bible search, and it's the phrase angel of the Lord. So this would be another word to focus on, as well as angels and demons. But think of the angel of the Lord as a subset to the topic, but also it is its own topic by itself, because I believe there are places where in the Old Testament, clearly the angel of the Lord is God, which I believe is to be Jesus Christ. And then there's New Testament uses of the angel of the Lord, which clearly is not Christ. So this is another one to study. But what do you want to focus on? Here is the key, and this is really helpful. And it's very specific to the angel of the Lord. If you're trying to determine if the angel of the Lord is God, the uncreated God, or a created being, 3 questions you want to ask. Number 1, is deity being ascribed to the angel. So how do we determine that? What's a good example? Well, let's click on this first one. Now the angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, by the spring on the way to Shur. He said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, where have you come from and where are you going? And she said, I am fleeing from the presence of my mistress Sarai. Then the angel of the Lord said to her, return to your mistress and submit yourself to her authority. Moreover, the angel of the Lord said to her, I will greatly multiply your descendants so that they will be too many to count. The angel of the Lord said to her further, behold, you are with child, and you will bear a son, and you shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has given heed to your affliction. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand will be against him. And he will live to the east of all his brothers. Then she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her, and here's the key. You are a God who sees. For she said, have I even remained alive here after seeing him? So Hagar ascribes deity, rightfully so, to this angel of the Lord. That's a good example. The second thing is look for worship. You know, when an angel is being worshipped, like in the book of Revelation, when John the apostle, who knows better, falls down and starts to worship, the angel rebukes him and says, get up, don't do that. So when worship is received and it's not rebuked, all right, then you got one of two possibilities. It's either Satan, who, wants to be worshiped, or it really is God. And in this case, it's God. And then the third question you want to look for is, does the angel of the Lord have attributes of God? Are they all-knowing, all-powerful? Those three questions, is deity being ascribed? Is worship being involved? Are attributes of God being displayed? That's how you can determine whether this is the uncreated God or a created being. Another search to run is this one. Okay, so search, Bible search your Bible, and choose evil spirit. You'll see several cross-references from the book of Judges, 1 Samuel, as well as the New Testament, Luke and Acts. Let's run this next search right here. Okay, so here we have, now we did this on the lemma, all right, and the lemma is on evil spirits. So let's close this down actually, and let me show you how I got here. So I'm going to open up Judges 9:23, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on evil, and I'm going to choose lemma, and I'm going to choose search this resource. So here's the first lemma. And notice now we are truly searching on the underlying original language. We're searching on Hebrew. Then I'm going to right-click on Spirit, choose lemma, choose search this resource. But see, the problem is we've got two separate searches. So I'm going to go ahead and just select this text, and I'm going to Control X or cut, and I'm going to go into this, and I'm going to paste it. And so now Logos is going to search for both of those words together in the same verse. This is a great way to look for evil spirit with the underlying Hebrew and Greek. Now let's see if that actually helped us find more passages. So I'm going to type in evil spirit at the left. And what do we got? We got 37 results from the English search, and we got 18 results using the lemma search. So what does this mean? It means that when you search in the English, you're searching on the English only, and that means the underlying Hebrew words may be different. Whereas when we search on the lemma, we're searching for specific spellings of the Hebrew words or Greek words. And so we can see what's in common. Now, let's do this for fun, just to help you quickly see how you can organize two separate lists. I'm going to click on the resource panel right here, and I'm going to choose Save as Passage List. Notice that evil spirit is listed here as a name for it. And I'm going to do the exact same thing over at the right. So I'm going to click on the resource panel, Save as Passage List. Notice how this one is labeled with the two lemmas. Now what we want to do is we want to find out what they have in common. So what we can do is we can run a merge. So I'm going to click on merge, and the first step, you want to look at step number 1, choose a list to merge with. Well, let's choose the one that we just created. There it is at the top. Now we have to make a decision. Do we want all of these verses put in one list? No, we don't want to do that. How about items appearing in both lists? That would be good. Okay, what do they have in common? Or we could look for the ones that are different. Let's do that one. So we run that search, and here it is. Here is 10 passages where they're different. Now, what this means is this, is that we took the 17 passages that were in English, compared them to the other 8 passages, and we found 10 passages in all that weren't common to both. And this can be very, very helpful. And I bet you if we look at some of these, we may discover a different word for the word spirit or evil. Now, here we have spirit and evil very far apart. That's why it really doesn't belong there. Evil generation, again, so you see what's going on? Evil and spirit were mentioned in the verse, but it wasn't talking about evil spirits. It was just talking about evil, and it was talking about spirit. So running a search like that we did before, searching for evil and spirit in English, can give us false hits. And running on the lemma is always going to give us better hits. But using the passage list, specifically the merge feature, we can quickly identify key passages. So take advantage of that particular tool. Now at this point in your study, you may be wondering, John, how do I keep track with all this information? Well, the first step is to create a highlight that you can use to mark up your text. So let me go ahead and kind of close all these down, and let's put one of these together. Now, in the past, I've done this in the theological training webinars. We'll do it here again to review. So I'm going to go to Tools on the main menu, and I'm going to click Highlighting. And I'm going to go down to my Theology palette. Now, if you haven't created this palette, it's real easy. Just go up to the top, click on New,